What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and today what I have for you guys is some unfortunate bad news about both the PlayStation 5 and Call of Duty 2020. But I also have some new details about Treyarch's next game that I haven't gone over yet. Definitely stay tuned throughout the entire video. You don't want to miss out on that. Also, as a reminder, I have my new beanie hats that are now available on my website for just $19.99. And also, I have new Zombies merch coming soon. It will be sold separately, but also given out for free to the Premise members here on my channel. There'll be t-shirts. Don't want to give away exactly what the theme is just yet, but more information about memberships is down below when you hit the join button. The highest membership tier does grant you access to free merch, exclusive intel, and an early look at some of my upcoming bangers for the next few weeks. But first off, something I was really looking forward to this Thursday was the PlayStation 5 gameplay reveal. I'm sure they would have finally showcased the console as well, and there were early rumors of a possible Call of Duty 2020 title reveal at this event as well. It was going to happen at, I think it was 2 or 3 p.m. Eastern. I would have streamed it here in the channel, but I guess we'll have to wait just a little bit longer because about half an hour ago, they did tweet out that they've decided to postpone the PlayStation 5 event scheduled for June 4th. While we understand gamers worldwide are excited to see PS5 games, we do not feel that right now is a time for celebration, and for now, we want to stand back and allow more important voices to be heard. And I completely agree, and I fully respect the decision all the way. It's very disappointing that we're not getting it, but there are so many more important issues in the world right now that need to be taken care of, that need to be listened to, and there is just so much going on this year. 2020 has been a roller coaster, and I really do hope things do get better, at least by some point this summer, right? And this is something that I wanted to bring up as well. With all the leaks and inside information for games, movies, and whatnot, people really need to understand that this year of all years, when we say take things with a grain of salt, this is the year you really need to do that now, because it doesn't matter where information is coming from. It doesn't matter who's, sharing the information. It doesn't matter if the person's verified or not. There are just so many issues in the real world right now that are really affecting just about everything in every single industry, whether it's games, movies, music, TV, books. Doesn't matter what the deal is. There are just way too many things happening in the real world that nothing could really stick to a schedule at the moment. There's going to be dozens of delays all across the board for everything we know and love. So people need to really be patient with what exactly is going on, right? Not only do we have the crisis right now with the riots, with the unfortunate cases of racism, but then we also have the pandemic still, right? I know some states have opened up around the United States. I know some countries around the world like New Zealand have been cleared with 0 cases, which is fantastic news, but the pandemic still exists in other areas of the world. So definitely expect more delays. Definitely expect, a lot of things to be pushed back because of the various crises that are still occurring literally everywhere right now. But another point I wanted to bring up about Call of Duty 2020 is that maybe it wouldn't have been featured at the PlayStation 5 reveal that was going to be this Thursday, but now that the PS5 reveal is pushed back to an unknown date, maybe now they'll actually feature Call of Duty 2020 at the PS5 reveal. It could be either or Activision has a whole separate agenda with how they want to market that game that doesn't involve doing it with Sony throughout the PlayStation 5 event. But what about Modern Warfare Season 4, which drops June 3rd, so I guess you could say late tomorrow night? Will that be delayed as well? I'm just not sure. I feel like we're so close to it to the point where they're like, yeah, just drop it. But if you really do think about it, why was the PS5 reveal pushed back? Besides, hopefully their genuine feelings towards the riots and everything. Besides that, I do think business-wise, they're probably like, well, are we really going to be attracting the biggest audience possible because of all of the things happening around the world right now? Everybody's focus is either on the pandemic or on the riots or whatever it is that's going on. So maybe now is not the best time to, market our next generation console, which we have to compete with Microsoft over because the Xbox Series X has practically already been revealed. So that's why they pushed it back, business-wise as well. So with Modern Warfare Season 4, will they have the biggest player base now, by releasing Season 4 in the next day or two? I'm just not sure. But I guess we'll have to wait and see how they end up handling the next season of content. I was expecting a trailer today for Season 4, at least like a cinematic cutscene, but I'm sure we'll have to wait until the update is actually live to actually see the cinematic cutscene, as we usually have every single season. But once again, leave your thoughts on that down below in the comments. But here are some big updates about Call of Duty 2020 now, some of which I didn't even expect. The tweet that I went over in yesterday's video, it was one of my tweets that David Vonderhaar himself, the GOAT, actually retweeted, has now been unretweeted. So I guess we could put the pieces of the puzzle together here. David Vonderhaar essentially confirmed confirmed a Treyarch Call of Duty is coming. I even had Black Ops Cold War in the hashtag, which I don't know if he even noticed that, but he also retweeted. So I'm sure Activision was like, look, David, you can't retweet that. You're essentially confirming a game from a studio that we haven't even talked about yet, right? And I get it. I totally get it, but I really do hope neither David Vonderhaar or anybody else at Treyarch got in trouble for seeing that tweet. And again, it could have just been a mistake. We never know, but looking at how he kept it retweeted for well over 12 hours, it might have even been longer, it does seem like David did like the tweet, maybe because the gif of him was in it, which I do adore. Clearly they're waiting as long as possible before confirming that Treyarch is the lead developer. And will that really help anything? I don't think so. I think if they would have announced Treyarch's lead developer a couple of months ago, it wouldn't have been any different from saying they're the lead developer now, right? Nothing really changes. Again, if people have faith in Treyarch, they'll have faith in Treyarch. If they didn't like Black Ops 4, they're gonna have a bad taste in their mouth regardless. None of that is going to change. But we also have new information from the man himself, Long Sensation. So he now goes by Tom over on Twitter. For whatever reason, they took down his main Long Sensation Twitter account. I'm not sure if he violated any terms of service or if it was just because of all the inside info he was sharing. I'm not sure what it was for, but on his Tom account, he did make something clear that made me a bit worried. Two things, actually. First off, the remakes that are going to be in Black Ops Cold War, the ones we went over a couple of days ago, you have Nuketown, Firing Range, Summit, and Jungle. They're supposed to be identical to the originals, and it's because they do match the setting that the game will be taking place in, which I fully understand because Black Ops Cold War, or Call of Duty 2020, whatever it's called, essentially takes place when the original Black Ops game did from 2010. So the setting already matches to bring the identical versions of those maps back. And we haven't seen the original Nuketown necessarily remastered, right, faithfully on current gen hardware yet, if I'm not mistaken. But the issue is with Firing Range, Summit, and Jungle, because if you think about it now, right, in Black Ops 3 DLC 6, the Back in Black pack, we saw those remakes, but they were actually faithful remasters, right? They were the exact same maps from Black Ops 1, just brought to Black Ops 3, and they played great. I had fun with the playlist, but the flaw with that playlist was that it was only available for people who digitally pre-ordered Black Ops 4 on the PSN store. The playlist is still in Black Ops 3 to this day, but doesn't have a healthy player base whatsoever. But then, those maps were then featured in Black Ops 4 at launch, and they were the same maps. Again, what I was hoping for is that we would see the faithful remasters in Black Ops 3 with DLC 6, then we would see them remade for the launch of Black Ops 4, where they would look different, they would have a different aesthetic to them, similar to the remakes we saw of those maps, again, in like Black Ops 2, right? In Black Ops 2, we saw Firing Range turn into Studio, and it was the same layout, but the aesthetic and theme of the map looked different. It was in a different setting, which I like a lot. You know, I'm always down for fan favorites to be brought back and for them to be twisted a little bit with different aesthetics, storylines, themes, settings. I'm always down for that. And unfortunately, ever since, I want to say Black Ops 4, really haven't seen that. With Black Ops 4, just about all of the remakes were faithful remasters of the originals from Black Ops 1. We had WMD and Havana from Black Ops 1 as well. So I'm like, wait a second, we're just seeing the same maps over and over again. And you know what? It's okay if they change things up a bit and they change the aesthetics and themes, but they're not doing that either. And I'm like, wait, why not? And if you look at it with Modern Warfare, they are doing the exact same thing. They're just bringing back the same maps, even from Modern Warfare 1 Remastered, and just bringing them into Modern Warfare 2019 with no changes besides adding doors and, you know, other crap. So it's like, okay, Activision seems to see that bringing back the exact same maps from the past without any changes to the aesthetics is working, so then continue doing that with Call of Duty 2020. But Tom also said that the game is not where it needs to be right now, and this is what worries me because I heard the same thing not too long ago, but I figured, you know, I heard that back in, what was it, February maybe, and I figured it's been a couple of months. Maybe things have changed, maybe they got their stuff together, they have Raven and Sledgehammer assisting them, so maybe they finally found a way to balance the workload, but as of now, it just doesn't seem like that's the case. But knock on wood that the game does release as a finished product, right? Not broken with blue screens and other glitches. On top of the fact that the game does have to be ported forward to next generation consoles unless the game is being made faithfully for next generation consoles right now and is being ported backwards to PS4 and Xbox One. I just don't know. Again, we'll hear more about that hopefully at the Sony event whenever that gets rescheduled too. But it seems like Treyarch has a big job to do, right? Stepping into this project late, having to essentially, pick up where Sledgehammer and Raven left off, having to make this a soft reboot to the Black Ops series, and then on top of that, having to somehow make this work for next-gen consoles, right? It's going to be crazy. And then we also have zombies to worry about too, because usually development on zombies is very thin until right around this time, actually. But since the game is not where it needs to be right now, I'm assuming that means, neither the campaign or multiplayer are necessarily ready. So that's why, I've been saying for the longest time, when we talk about a reveal for Call of Duty 2020, I expect a title reveal, a lead developer reveal, and that's it. And then maybe at the end of that little reveal, they give us a date for when the gameplay trailer will be. And I guess it would be late June, right? That's what I expect right now from a reveal. That's what I would expect from a Sony announcement as well at the PlayStation 5 gameplay reveal. But in terms of how that's going to work, we just don't know. But in terms of a delay for this game, I still believe Activision will do everything in their power to release this game at least before Christmas. And, for a big reason, obviously, you get the Christmas sales, and then you have the release of next-gen consoles, which hopefully won't be delayed, and they'll likely want to bundle Call of Duty 2020 with the PlayStation 5, which I did hear from verified insiders not too long ago as well. But that is about it. This has been dkdynamite. Leave all your thoughts on this down below in the comment section. Are you worried about Call of Duty 2020? Are you worried about everything being pushed back and delayed? And will you be playing Modern Warfare Season 4 when it drops? I'll definitely be live streaming whenever the live event also happens in Warzone, and I'll definitely have gameplay of the iconic Black Ops weapons that are coming to Modern Warfare, like the Galil and the AN-94. Really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everyone.